G'day lads. We've all wondered about a 5th class that could come to Darktide later down the road. Well, today, I figured why not come up with the best quality class we can. One that fits with the established lore of the warband, fits easily within the warband, and will provide a unique playstyle. But it will also introduce new weapons into the game that some could cross-class and provide Fatshark some new skins to make, both in high-quality, free-earnable skins and their money-grubbing skins. This has also been one of the most highly requested additions to the Tertium 4, a member of the Adeptus Mechanicus. We've had calls for Skitarii and calls for a Tech Priest. Honestly, while I would love a Skitarii, we can get skins for that through the Veteran. But what would make the most sense is an Acolyte of Hadrons that fell from grace. We don't need the as in-depth reason for imprisonment like we have for everyone else, as the Mechanicus will just servitor your ass and send you on your way. This has to be an affront that while Hadron would adhere to her traditional values, she can also calculate the loss of effectiveness by just servitoring you. So, let's just say you overtuned a plasma rifle with such precision that before the squad could even get on the Valkyrie, it detonated, killing the entire reject squad. Good thing it wasn't us. It gets a laugh, it fits the theme of the world, and would absolutely draw all eyes to Hadron that she does not want to have on her. All of a sudden, we get a while procedures would dictate your punishment, such a waste of resources at this time would anger Grendel. You will join the rejects, ensure the retrieval of blessed resources, and recover any equipment from your fallen rejects, so it does not go to waste or fall into the hands of the enemy. Should you fail at this duty, then your turn to servitude will not be looked at unfavorably. Something along those lines that would give us a reason to not feel like this character isn't the oddball, despite looking like one. Audio lines would be sweet, as the other characters would feel uneasy around a Tech Acolyte, more possibly than they are around the Psyker. But, you know, they'd also have to deal with just the look of the cybernetics on the Tech Acolyte. Maybe it's something that really gets under the nerves of the entire squad. Maybe while they accept him as one of their own, they don't quite like the sight of all those cybernetic enhancements in such little flesh. They can start with a stripped robe, leaving them relatively bare, only seeing the cybernetics and a few pieces to be, we'll say, appropriate for all ages. The only mark of Mars being a simple cowl. Then, going up the levels earns you the robe back, but modified in a way that notes you will never be allowed back into Hadron's fold. And your usefulness in the field is far more valuable to her. That's your lore aspect. Let's talk weapons. We can have the galvanic rifle and carbine that can both be shared by the veteran, and the veteran in change sharing the plasma rifle with the Tech Acolyte. We could get radium weapons. We could get arc weapons, such as the rifle and the pistol, radium rifle and pistol as well. We could get needle pistols, we could get arc moles, taser goads, transonic blades or razors, the Cog Axe, a phosphor pistol or a phosphor blast carbine, and more. But let's call these list good, right? You can share the galvanic weapons, as I said, with the veteran sharing the plasma weapon. Zealot shares the heavy eviscerator and gets a Cog Axe as well. Nothing to really share with the Psyker unless we rock some Electro Priest vibes somehow. And these are all friendly lore weapons that we can utilize as well. They can provide unique support effects to the squad and a nice power to the Acolyte that's unique to them. These weapons can also have the Tech Acolyte feel completely different from his peers by being a dot character instead of a direct damage. Dot, for those of you who don't know, is damage over time. I will be calling it dot from here on out. You might ask yourself, why dots? It would be the choice by everybody to have a character that just does dots. I doubt that heavily. But we would see an initial player base running the Acolyte and trying it out, seeing if it's for them. I don't see everyone playing one due to how the dot play would work. Low damage, but stacking dots and debuffs to help the team survive. Much in the way a Psyker is now a field controller or special sniper, the Veteran counter-ranged and range specialist, the Ogrin a tank, crowd sweeper and brawler, and the Zealot a melee horde clear and nimble risk-reward brawler. With a Dots Acolyte, we can now provide buffs, debuffs, damage, and instead of toughness maybe, health regen based on the dots in the field. Just an idea. What would the 3 trees look like? You'd have damage, support, and defense. Damage could be making the dot stacks last longer, making them hit harder but drop faster, increase the amount of dots that you can put out, have a toxin gas grenade for toxic dots. Yes, I know it's Nurgle, but a humanoid tissue is still a humanoid tissue. Melee attacks provide dots on hit, and say a blitz being another aura type shout that emits toxic, bleed, or burn in a small radius, similar to a force scream from the Psyker. Support would reduce dot damage down, with the trade being that your allies in coherency have a passive percentile health regeneration based on the damage coming back in. If this is too unbalanced, then change it to toughness and you get the same shtick. For a grenade, I would say a rad grenade. With a law-friendly millisecond half-life, you take no damage unless you drop it at your feet. But it is a game, and I don't expect them to add self-damage. Regardless, it would be a low damage dot, but one that can get a quick burst of toughness or health back to the team while also dealing damage to the enemies. As for a blitz, a targeted healing stim for high health or toughness return, again for balance, or a multi-target stim for low to moderate return. Lastly, defense. This would be a build that empowers buffs and debuffs for your allies. Picking between a multi-tree build or hard down, you can control the flow of battle by turning your dots into stronger but short-lived buffs and debuffs, or longer-lasting, weak to normal buffs and debuffs. With use of a cryo or even a scare gas grenade, causing the enemies to either freeze in their place and receive stacks of brittleness, or be frightened and flee, unable to engage in combat, giving your team a moment to regroup and catch a breath. A blitz that could call forth a servo skull to put a toughness damage reduction buff on you and your allies, or a weakness buff on the enemies, making them hit for less. These are my general thoughts as to what would make this class stand out and be unique to the game. It wouldn't outshine other players, but would provide a nice synergy to how the games go and allow for some unique interactions between the characters. Additionally, we all know that Fatshark will monetize the crap out of it, but if they can provide us some amazing, freaking amazing, free, earnable, high quality cosmetics for not only the Acolyte, but for all the classes, as they need to do right now and for the future, you know, ones that actually take time, things would be looking up for the game. I understand they need to monetize and make money, but they need to do high quality, free gear, and they can put all the effort they want into the cosmetic shop, but the free gear needs to look Karking amazing as well. As for keystones, I would love to see your input. And if there are any other options you would like to see to these trees, or general builds, leave them in the comments. The more we talk about it, throw ideas around and discuss civilly and openly, the better. My ideas are simply that, mine. And other people may have ideas that are just as awesome or better. I'd love to see them, because I will acknowledge if something sounds better than what I've got. Share what you'd like to see with a Tech Acolyte class. Shout out to the patrons. Thank you so much for supporting the channel on Patreon. You too can become a Patreon supporter by heading down in the description below, or you can support by becoming a channel member. You can also support for free by hitting like, subscribe, the bell notification, and commenting. If you want to join us in Discord, you can join us there. We also have a community Discord where you can come in and chat and find out what's going on in the daily. Maybe even give some great ideas that I could throw into a future video. Have a great one, lads. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Don't forget to mark your targets and stay frosty out there. Peace.